What's up now? It's me, Will. Today is June 4th, 2023. How y'all doing today? Me, I'm doing fine. I'm doing okay. I'm dealing with life on life terms right now. Alright, this video right here is about making decisions after you make a decision out of anger. Now, the reason why it's a good thing about being in this process of recovery, you are gonna make mistakes. You know, I make mistakes. I make mistakes sometimes because I make decisions out of just being angry, you know, and then without really thinking the whole thing through. Now see, this ain't got nothing to do with going to use, going to get high. This got something to do with making yourself better as a person. Dealing with life on life terms on a regular basis. Like, say like you got something going on and it doesn't really go the way that you planned it to go because other entities might be trying to protect whatever they got going on, and you can't blame them for that. And then you'll get angry because they won't make a decision to help you out, but they're actually protecting themselves. Because you got to think about it. Because people don't mind. Some people, I'm not going to say everybody, some people don't mind helping you out as an individual. But at the same time, they're going to protect themselves at all times. They're not going to put themselves up under the bus. You like throw themselves up under the bus so you could benefit. You know, and that's what I'm going through right now as an individual. You know, I had to play the whole tape through. Okay, I get angry, I make decisions. But I had to play the whole tape through on the level to where as though, wait a minute, before I even like got into the process of what I'm doing, I said to myself, I want this to happen, I want this to happen, and I want to do this. But not taking an account of what I need to go through in order to get to that point. Not really thinking, okay, it's gonna be some stuff that's gonna happen that I'm not gonna like in between me getting to that point to where I wanna be. You understand? It's like, I mean, this is part of what recovery is about. Figuring out how to live life without the use of is a wonderful thing. But dealing with life on life terms on a regular basis is something totally different. You understand? On a regular basis without using drugs, or if you want to separate the two, alcohol. The things that got you in the bind from the get-go. You got to think about, if, let's say, let's go back in time. If you had not been out there abusing drugs and alcohol, you would have a lot of things already figured out right now. And some of these things that you're figuring out, people that haven't abused drugs and alcohol, they already figured it out. They're moving on. They doing something totally different. So what I'm saying, the things that you're going through right now is dealing with your emotions on a spiritual level, to where as though you could be able to survive and say, oh, I understand what's going on with me, without drinking, without doing drugs, without putting your hands on somebody. Because it can get to that point, you know, because you got clean and you're not doing drugs or alcohol, you're not getting high no more, it don't mean your life is gonna be perfect. But at the same time, you gotta actually reach out to your inner self and say, wait a minute, I gotta watch my actions. I gotta watch what I'm doing. Because some things that you could do without you getting out, you could still end up going to jail. You understand? You could still end up in a really bad place. You know, this is recovery is just more than just not using. It's changing who you are as a person. I mean, you gotta like really go back and think about it. You gotta think about the things that you used to do, and you gotta think about how you live in your life now. Does it all fit? Your actions? I even look at myself, I said, wait a minute. I take a personal inventory, right, on what I did yesterday. And I think about it, I said, wait a minute, that was wrong. I did something wrong. I'm about to actually do more harm to myself than helping myself. But I'm doing it clean. You gotta think about it. Because while you clean, you got multiple years clean, and you still could be on an imperfect level of making bad decisions. You might not make the decisions of picking up or going to drink and do drugs, but you can make decisions that can actually do things that can actually harm your future. You understand? And that's where I'm at today. You know, and listen, like, as time go, you'll start recognizing yourself on a regular basis. You'll start recognizing your actions, especially when you're trying to take care of business. I mean, because this is the real world. You know, people gonna come at you from all type of angles, but it's up to you as a person to actually think about what you gonna do, how you gonna deal with this situation. You ain't drinking, you ain't doing drugs no more, but you gotta deal with your anger. You understand? That's what I had to do. You know, and then sometimes you'll sit back and you'll back up on the situation, and I think about it and I say, damn, I feel like I just got punked out, you know? But sometimes you have to back up, because you could do something that can actually destroy what you're trying to actually accomplish in life, you know? I mean, it's like building relationships, you know? You building business relationships, you building spiritual relationships with other people, you building a spiritual relationship with God of your understanding, so you can actually stay on the road to recovery. Because it's more than just doing what you do. I mean, it's more than just staying clean and sober, you know. I mean, just thinking about it. And the reason why I came up with this subject to talk about, because I recognize me, and a lot of these things that I be talking about is things that I actually went through or I'm going through. you know, and somewhere down the line, you're going to be going through something too similar. It might not be the exact same thing, but you're going to be dealing with things on a similar level, you know? And that's just how it works. You know? You can't no longer blame. Once you recognize everything, you cannot blame people, places, and things. You got to look in the mirror. And that's what I do. That's what it means when you taking a fearless moral inventory of yourself. Looking in the mirror at yourself and saying, wait a minute, was it good for me to react like that? Who did I actually harm in the process? Damn, I'm clean right now and I'm still doing stuff on a level like I'm still using. You know, like I'm still out there in the streets. Because right now, you trying to change something about yourself. And that's what I'm doing. I've been clean 16 years. And it's a process. It's a long process. You know, it's a long process. It's more than just, okay, I'm not going to use today. Yeah, okay, you're not going to do that. You got that nailed down real good. But then, at the same time, if somebody get in your face, you know, how you gonna deal with the situation? But at the same time, you want to stand up for yourself. But at the same time, you want to handle it in a professional manner, to where as though it'll be all professional, not ended up in the jail sentence or the authorities had to get involved. You understand? You don't want to do that. Because people, especially people that really know you, they can push your buttons. They will push the shit out those buttons. And they will smash on them and they don't care. But it's up to you. And I can say it's up to me as an individual. You gotta like really look at yourself. What to do in a situation. You know, how do you handle it? How do you handle not putting your hands on somebody? Because right now you're in the real world. And I'm going to tell you, I haven't been to jail clean. I haven't went to jail clean, but you can go to jail clean. You can go to jail clean. You can go to jail sober, however you want to put it. You can go to jail because the laws don't change. You got to change as a person, you know, and that's what I had to look at. You know, I got to look at that too. You know, doing a fearless moral inventory of yourself is very important, because you got to remember, it only take that one time and you could be back where you was at before. And it might not happen in the form of you getting high or going out there to use. You know what I mean? Like I said, you can end up in jail because you didn't handle the situation in a professional manner like you were supposed to. That's why I say people, places, and things, you can't blame that. You gotta look in the mirror. But in the beginning, you gotta be careful of people, places, and things, because at the moment, in the beginning of you being clean, you trying to learn yourself. You trying to learn what you missed out on, because all that time you've been getting high, you've been using, all that time you've been missing out on spiritual growth. Spiritual growth in the sense of being able to mature as an adult. You know, you gotta think about it. It's all about change. And if you want to change, you gotta change the way you deal with situations. You know, sometimes you might even have to reach outside of yourself and talk to somebody that actually can talk some sense into yourself. Like venting. You know, and there's nothing wrong with venting. There's nothing wrong with it. But who you vent out to and who you talk to, you have to be careful. Because people can take your story and they will run to the hills with it and make you look bad. But you really wasn't meaning to do that. You just actually trying to share something about what you're going on with yourself. Because sometimes you just got to talk about it. And that's just how it go. You know, sometimes you just got to really talk about it. And you got to talk about it to somebody that you really trust that's not going to share your information with everybody on the planet. They going to keep that within themselves. You know what I mean? And that's just how it works. Sometimes you got to do that. And sometimes you don't need to share nothing. You just, you take it and you share it with God. And you think about it. And you sit down and assess. Will this make sense? If I put all this on the table right now and do something stupid, will this make sense for me to do that? Because you know what? You can, even though you clean, even though you sober, and you feel like you done hit the jackpot, you done hit the mega millions, because it feel like that when you get clean, especially like in your first year. You feel like you hit the mega millions. You be like, oh, I hit the Powerball. You dig in your pocket, you got a couple of dollars. You looking around, you enjoying people, places, and things that you never could enjoy before because of the drug of your choice or whatever you were using wouldn't allow you to actually really experience life. You know? And that's how it worked. Thinking about it and assessing things so you can continue living life on life terms. Because like I said before, there's people out there that will push your buttons and they do not care. Because they're not working no program. They don't have a program. They're not doing no fearless moral inventory on a daily basis of themselves. You got to think about that. Because you special. Think about it. Out of all the people in the process of you out there in the streets, dealing with the streets, using, getting high, doing whatever you doing in the streets, catching cases, going to the penitentiary on a regular basis. You ain't doing none of that shit no more. And you actually changing something about yourself. It feel weird. It feel weird to change who you are as a person so you can live a life on life terms on a regular basis. That's where you actually sit down and you do an assessment of yourself like I do and say, damn, you know what? I handled that. I did it. And I see why people keep saying God is good. God of your understanding is good. Because you're spiritually woke. You actually know what you're doing right from wrong. You're not putting a chemical in your body to enhance who you are as a person. And you actually being who you are on a regular basis. That's why some people be like, man, God is good. I worked through that situation. I ain't in that. I don't feel like that no more. I'm doing something different. Whew. That was close. I almost caught a case because I didn't react like how I normally react. I sat back and I cooled out and said, wait a minute. I'm better than that today. I can't go out and do what I used to do. Because every time I did that, something bad happened. I ended up in jail, or you might say, or I end up getting beat up or end up not being able to maintain relationships that can actually help me in my future endeavors or my goals that I'm trying to achieve in life. I'm telling you, it's not easy. It's not easy. That's why a lot of people will turn around and go back to doing what they used to do. They might not go back directly to start drinking and doing drugs, but eventually somewhere down the line, you going in that path. And then, guess what? You back at it again. You sitting up there like, wait a minute, how in the world did this happen? How did this happen? All right. I want you to like, subscribe, share, comment below. I am going to actually create an email for this channel because I actually know, you know, some people would like to remain anonymous, and anonymity is the best thing possible. But me as an individual, I'm putting myself up on the line because I know there's a lot of people out there right now who want to change something about themselves after they figured out what the problem is. They want to change, and they want to stay changed, and they want to continue on a better journey so they can actually, you know, live a normal life, you know, be able to enjoy, breathe the air, and look at all the wonderful things and know what they looking at. You understand? So I'm gonna create an email. Just give me some time. I'm gonna do that. And if you don't want to hit the like button, I understand. If you don't want to comment, I understand. That's okay. That's why I'm gonna create an email. That way we can actually, you know, build something together and actually, you know, be able to master this thing so we can all become better people. You know, and that's what it's about. Being a better person. Living life on life terms without drinking or doing drugs. And being able to build relationships that you never thought you could build with people. Whether it's a friend relationship, a business relationship, you know, you got different versions of relationships. You know, a relationship with your spouse that you never really had. You understand? Or you might actually can like really recognize who you are really dealing with on a daily basis. And then, you know, God is good. God is good. Let's put it like that. So this is me, Will. I'm gonna get with y'all in the next video. Y'all be blessed. And y'all like, subscribe, share the video with people that seeking recovery, that actually want to like build a foundation of a stable foundation of people that are like-minded, that want to change something about themselves so they can actually help other people around them. All right, it's me, Will. Y'all be blessed. Peace.